Excessive heat often coincides with high UV index levels, which significantly increases the risk of sunburn, premature aging, and skin cancer, specifically during midday hours, which is 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., just in case you didn't know that. Now, we are actually being joined by Dr. Molly Powers of Henry Ford Hospital's Department of Dermatology to explain a little bit more. Thank you for being here, Dr. Powers.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
And we appreciate that. We appreciate it. So let's get straight into it. We've been experiencing some hot days recently. It's like the sun is literally right here in Greater West Bloomfield. Let's talk about what are some of the top sun protection concerns that you're seeing right now with this extreme heat affecting our residents.
Oh, it's been so hot. And with that comes our human nature to want to cool down and
Hmm.
also enjoy the most out of our summer. So, what we're seeing a lot are more and more sunburns. People are going out and seeking water sports and playing in pools and trying to keep cool. But with that and being outside and being in the sun definitely adds more ultraviolet radiation.
Mm.
So I'm seeing a lot of patients coming in after long weekends at a lake or in a pool or at a splash pad. And when they're playing in the water, and not using the right sun protective tools, it increases your risks for burns and ultimately sun damage and DNA damage in our skin later on.
Yeah, I was reading the notes. It was saying increase aging and stuff like that. I like to go outside and get my vitamin D from the sun as well, but if it's gonna make me age faster, you can keep me in the house for all of that. That's kind of crazy. So, I mean, but we like to enjoy it. We've been in the house all winter, Dr. Powers. We want to get outside now. So, for us that want to go outside, enjoy time on a lake, on our boats, or just out on the splash pad for a couple hours. What's your advice for that long-term sun protection during those heat waves?
Yeah, I feel that too. These Michigan winters are long, and we had not so great spring. So we definitely want to make the most out of our summers, but there's a
Hmm.
safe way to do it. It's really about the adequate sun protection. So, sunscreen, particularly broad spectrum sunscreen, that's protecting against UVA damage and UVB. So, that's the type of ultraviolet.
Hmm.
Also, wearing sun protective clothing. I think this is often underutilized, wearing long rash guards, wide brim hats, and let's not forget to protect our eyes because I see skin cancers on the eyelids, the lower eyelids. We need to protect all of our skin. Additionally, the simplest thing is just try to avoid those peak sun hours that you mentioned,
Yeah.
10 and 4. Those are the times of the day where it's really the most damaging to our skin. So if we could try to get a morning time outside and then maybe a later afternoon, evening time outside to get our vitamin D and fun in the sun, that's a
Yeah.
lot safer than going out in the middle of the day.
Woo, cause it felt like an oven out there. I'm not gonna lie to you, but ultimately, like you said, we want to go outside, we want to enjoy our time, but we have to be like, I don't think people really understand the precautions and the dangers of being in the sun so long and exposing yourself to it as well. And with me right here live on the splash, by the way, Dr. Molly Powers from Henry Ford Hospital, Department of Dermatology, talking about protecting our skin from the sun, these heat waves. It can get crazy out there. Now, I do want to talk about this, right? I mean, you just gave some great advice and things of that nature for the average resident, but what about for our most vulnerable populations, the children, the seniors? Do you have any advice or specific precautions that you recommend for that population?
Yeah, for our kids, they love to be outside. Let's start with infants.
Hmm.
If a child is less than 6 months, really we should be prioritizing sun avoidance or sun protective clothing. The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends sunscreen for 6 months or older. I also recommend, so when the child is 6 months or older, it's safe to start using a zinc oxide or a titanium dioxide sunscreen. Hats, shade, And of course, I mean, we're talking just about the skin. It's also important to protect them from the heat.
Right. Yeah.
Children, infants, they don't have the same mechanisms to cool themselves down, and they can't tell us. So it's very important to have safe heat practices for that population. Now, in particular, the older population, it can be quite complicated because some of our older population is also on medications that can make them more sensitive to the sun.
Mm.
Um, they might be out in the sun trying to do their work that they need to do around the house. So it's very important that we educate our older population about medication interactions, trying to be out in earlier in the day or later in the day. And let's check on our neighbors. We're a community here, and we should be checking on our younger and our older um, friends and family
Good
and
point.
neighbors to make sure everyone's doing okay,
Yeah.
especially with some of the power outages and the
Mm.
inability to seek cooler, temperature controlled climates indoors.
Well said. Yeah, no, it's a good time to go out and do that, especially if you know you do have an older neighbor or something like that, and they might need some care or someone to look out for them. Yeah, just pay them a visit. Just make sure too, because yeah, even the ACs, like using the AC at home during that time, 10 to 4, like they can hit you over the head just for those charges. So it's so many different things that go into play with this heat and how we can kind of manage ourselves and our home and our temperatures. But we're glad to have you here to kind of break some of that stuff down as well. Now, I just have a random question. Let's say someone wants to get out. This is their tradition to get outside, soak in this sun, and just like let it absorb in their skin for some time. Like, how long or when should someone know, like, I've been outside too long and I need to like leave? Like, is there marks on your body? Like, give me some signs.
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, really, anytime you're going to be under direct sunlight, you should be using sunscreen.
Right.
And because there's no amount of safe sun exposure that we know of. So you
Mm.
have to be using sunscreen. I have tons of friends who love to be in the sun, and I try to tell them wear your sunscreen. It can lead to skin cancer, like you mentioned, premature aging, signs of too much sun. Your skin can develop a heat rash, so you can get red bumps from the sun. You can get little, like another type of sweat rash where your sweat glands are working too much and it causes these little fluid filled bumps from the sun. So it's more than just sun damage and the increased risk of skin cancer and aging. It can lead to a lot of heat rashes. And that's not fun either
No.
because heat rashes, once your skin isn't working properly, it can't keep you cool the way it needs
Mm-hmm.
to. So we really need to take care of our largest organ, which is our skin.
True, true. Skin cancer and bumps and aging. That makes me, I'm almost scared of the sun at this point. I'm about to avoid the sun altogether.
No,
But,
don't be, yeah, don't be afraid. We want to have fun. We're in
right.
Michigan. We earned our summers. Let's enjoy it, but
Yeah.
let's do it safely.
No, well said. And we appreciate that. Thank you again for your time, Dr. Power. Any additional information that we didn't go over that you want to share with our residents before we let you go?
I guess the one of the things I want to talk about is I hear a lot of patients who say, I'm in the shade, I'm never in the sun. And I just want to say the shade is not adequate sun protection. So
Mm.
wear your sunscreen, wear your sun protective clothing, have fun this summer, be safe from the heat. And thanks so much for having me.
No, thank you for your professional expertise and information. Once again, Dr. Molly Powers, Henry Ford Hospital, Department of Dermatology. Thank you.
Thank you.